Yes, sir. Perfectly. And we're rolling.
Okay, cool, cool.
Montana Johnson, the Tint Craftsman out of Augusta, Georgia. What's going on? Welcome. Thanks for joining today.
I appreciate you having me on, Eric. I really do.
It's been really fun and inspiring getting to know you over the last couple of months. And very specifically, you shared a post a couple days ago that told a story of kind of what you went through during the COVID period as far as work goes, as far as your shop goes. And that really struck a chord with me. So maybe a good place to start. I wanted to hear that story and hear more about it. And, you know, so yeah, if you want to start there, we don't have to start with where you got started. I think a lot of people know you by now.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. With that little short little video clip that I shared, on Instagram and on Facebook, man, that was about. I had moved my location. I was at one location, but then I wanted to kind of expand, and I wanted, you know what I'm saying, I wanted bigger space. I wanted a nice waiting area for the customers and stuff like that. And everything was good, man. Like, everything was good. But in the time of me getting ready and prepared to move into the other location, I had to remodel and do a lot of work to it to get it up to par and stuff like that to how I wanted it. And, I did all that. I invested, put a lot of, time and money and even just advertisement, and marketing. I did all that for that location. But then once I wasn't expecting the pandemic to hit, when that coronavirus came, and it was crazy because the phone stopped ringing. People was more concerned on about their family and stuff like that. They weren't really thinking about, getting their windows tinted. And plus a lot of things had shut down. And it was crazy, you know what I mean? Because I tried to stay in the building as long as I could. I went I probably say I went like 6 months without making no income, with nothing generating, nothing coming in. I had money put aside, and it was really taking a lot of that to keep me afloat. And I was like, man, I was fighting not to let it go. But you know what I'm saying? That it was just something unexpected that I didn't expect to happen with me making that move, investing into this new location. And it was a great location, but it just the timing, the timing was off. And man, when I say it kind of had discouraged me a little bit, I was thinking I was about to stop 10. I wasn't gonna do any 10 anymore after I shut that location down because I had already invested that money and I felt like, it didn't come back. I lost out and things like that. But it was crazy. You know what I mean? Like the deal with that during the pandemic. And the overhead, that's another thing. The overhead was crazy. Kicking out, you know what I'm saying, the overhead, just to be real with you, with that and the bills, probably somewhere around $3,500 a month, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to withstand this for months and months and months. And I just said, man, hey, I got to let it go,
So that was probably towards the end of 2020.
Yeah. That was, I tried to hold on to it as long as I could, but it's just, you just got to know, like timing is everything, like timing. And you just have to be real strategic about your moves. Cause my thing was, even though I felt like I was ready to expand, but I wasn't ready to, you know what I mean? Like, just because you have the funds to do something, that just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to think about it. And that's where I felt that I moved a little too quick, to be honest. And the only thing saved me was, like I say, the marketing. You know, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, promotion and branding myself. And that's just the key thing about it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm able to bounce back now, is only because of the customers. They remember my logo, they remember me, my name, you know, the good work and things like that. You want to leave your stamp, your footprint, you know, and that's what
Mhm.
I try to encourage a lot of other people. If you got a business, no matter what it is, you know what I mean, you got a logo, whatever, you want to leave a footprint so people will be able to remember you. You got to have that. You know what I mean? Like I say, when you see McDonald's with the arch, I know they've been around for a long time, but you gonna always think of McDonald's. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, those are the things that you have to do. Even when you can be a small business, you can be a large, whatever. But branding yourself, you can never go wrong with that. You know, investing in your business and yourself.
So how much time passed between when you had to, turn back the location until you made the decision to open the location you're at now?
Should I say about almost 2 years?
Okay. So how long have you been in the new location? It's very recent, yeah?
Yeah. I've been in a new location probably going on. I say probably almost about a year almost.
So what
Yeah.
was the
So
thought
it's
process? What kind of changed your mind? You kind of thought maybe you're going to be out of tint. What changed? What got you back? Didn't last long.
yeah. It was the demand of for my customers. You know what I mean? Because my business line, I had shut that off for the period that I was shut down. I had that disconnected, and then when I got it reactivated, you know, it was still ringing. People was calling, and they wanted me, you know, to tint their windows. They wanted me to do this, give them estimates and quotes, and things like that. So I would send them to other shops, but then things wasn't going right with that, and they was demanding for me. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to tint my windows. So I was like, man, I need to go and open back up another shop. And I told myself this time, if I open back up, that I was gonna go a different route with a lot of things. You know what I mean? I was gonna network with people, reach out. That's when I started becoming part of the groups, because I never knew anything about nothing what was going on out there. You know, I was just doing tint. You know, it was
Mhm.
boring, it was stressful, and I just felt like I was on a planet by myself here. You know, but now seeing more others out there, you know, it's like, man, like, okay, so now it's a whole community. And yeah, that's definitely what, kind of made me kind of start moving forward, you know what I mean, with this tent. Because I was like, I really, I was like, man, I was gonna give it up, honestly.
And then in your new shop, I want to ask you how much the rent is now compared to before, but also I'm curious, what you've opened a shop and then you closed it and you got the chance to reopen one, so you get the chance to kind of like do it over and make some revisions and learn from that past, even if it was short, that past opening. What are some of the things that you feel you had to carry over from that location, and other things you were like, I'm doing it differently than I was about to? Or are you doing it the exact same just a year later?
But I'll say probably it's similar to the same. But this time I'm definitely calculating on for as like doing too much. You got to know the right places. As I say, for its advertisement, you got to know who you're marketing to, your audience. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can just say you can get a billboard, but if that's not your customers, or the people that you know what I'm saying, you trying to draw in, then it's a waste of money, and things like that. So a lot of times you have different people come along and want you to advertise and do this, but who are you advertising to?
Right.
You know,
The golf course things, I feel like people have been posting lately, like about the golf course sponsorship opportunities. I think I saw Matt Blackmere might have, and I'm so curious on that because I feel like it's such a scam. But I'm wondering if like anybody's ever done well from those, and it might just be on a one-on-one basis. Just depends on the golf course and who's handling that marketing. You know what I'm talking about?
and
Where
I've
you like
I've I've
sponsor a hole.
I've heard something similar about that. I don't know if it's the same exact thing, man, but
Yeah.
I've had so many people, and if they know that I wouldn't say desperate, but they know if you really trying to, you want customers. Everybody want, you know what I'm saying, try to, how could I
Right.
get more customers in the door? Um, and they prey on that. And then if you go invest that money, it may be a waste of money. You have, I like to put it this way. I can take the same money that I give them, and I can break it down in bits and pieces. You know what I mean? I may have stickers, I may have this and that, different type of promotional items that I can give to my customers, or different things you can do to market yourself.
Right.
But if you just spend that lump sum trying to do that, and what if it don't work?
Right.
And that's the way I feel about those type of deals. I don't do them. I never tried, and I never will. Yeah.
Yeah, as there was some comments, and everybody kind of says that there's nothing to them, and it does feel like something that's more like something that's made up in a way to like sell to you, because it does make sense. So it's like you can, if you call enough people and you mail enough people, and businesses are used to spending money, they can get you. But like you said, you have options where you spend your money. You want to spend it in the best places possible, not just a place, right? Like,
that's right.
Spend in the best place. What are some of those best places for you? You mentioned stickers and sorts of like branding. You're obviously on TikTok. What are some of the places that you like to be, other than like the one you mentioned?
Well, I still kind of do things the old fashioned way. I'll be out and I'll network. I do network with people outside of social media. And that's another thing, you have to do. If you see someone, they look like they may need tint, or they may need your services, give them a card,
So give me an example of that. Like, give me kind of like a real life example for like, you're at the supermarket, you're at a gas station, like some that like really happened. So, because a lot of people, you say networking and people think like, all right, but hey, you have to almost like draw the like dots, connect the dots to like, how do I actually start talking to the person? Or like, what do I actually say?
Gotcha. Okay. So pretty much, I'm gonna give you an example. Like I seen a woman, she was that was the BMW X6, new BMW. She had just got it. And I noticed like she didn't have any paint protection. She didn't have anything on it to protect the door edges, door cups, none of that. No tint. And so I gave her a card. I was like, excuse me, ma'am, how you doing? I was like, this is my company. I do the services that I offer. And I gave her that card, and by me just networking and explaining to her, and I went into a few details. I didn't hold up because nobody like for you to talk the head off, when they're trying to go somewhere. So I was like, well, I can offer you some protection for your vehicle. Just you can come by, check out, see what we got, and things like that, or you can go online and check us out. And she was like, okay, fine, no, and that was great. But me giving her that one card off her, I end up with 20 more customers, all people that she knew.
Wow.
And then now they're saying they're going to tell other people about me, you know what I mean? Which is a group. They kind of, I want to say they're in some type of, she was some type of law firm or something like that. She do. But it was just me just noticing that I had something to offer that she may need that's going to help her out. And once you let them know that, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to offer you something that's, that's beneficial. And it's going to definitely, you trust me, you will be satisfied and be happy that you made that investment in your vehicle. And, and stuff like that. And sometimes they don't know, because so many people approach people in different ways. And you got to know when to cut off. You can't just don't sit there and talk. Give them a card, let them know, keep it brief, and then keep it moving. And it's been pretty good, man. I'm an old fashioned way, because a long time ago, my dad, we used to go out and pass out flyers. This when I was like maybe 10 or 11 years old. We used to go door to door and put flyers in doors. So that was the old fashioned way. But now you have social media. I know a lot of people are not into it, but I think they need to kind of adapt to it. Either if you got a son or a daughter, or you have somebody close to you, record this video for me. Can you get me doing this or get me doing that? So you creating content, no matter what type of content. You don't have to be like I was explaining to a couple people. You don't have to be dancing, or doing, what I do. Do what you do. If you're tinting, let people see what you do, the service that you offer. Somebody can go on your page, but they're not really seeing you doing what you telling them you doing, and that kind of makes people, they get to questioning, and they be like, oh no. But you see these other guys, man, they're selling themselves because you are the brand. So you have to brand yourself in the process. The business is not going to brand itself. A lot of people just got to adapt with the social media, man. It's really the way to go, because I've had quite a few people just see me off social media and they want to do business with me.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine as well the shirt, like your shirt, your other brand related clothing, instantly you're approachable because I know your name just by like glancing at you, and I can very clearly see the word tint. And something that I really like about your logo is that I always found it was important that, like, how many times have you heard, what do you think of my logo? Right. And it's like, to me, it's like, it could look like I could have a taste on, like, I like that color, I like the shape or whatever. But really, to me, the number one thing that's important is like window tint needs to be the most obvious part of that logo, in my opinion. So like, I don't care so much about the other stuff as much as I care at a glance. Do people know that's window tint? And I know by looking at you, you do tint. And I also could assume you're either from Montana or your name's Montana. And I know that wearing Tint Wiz, walking around, how many people approach me in line. I was at the gas station, like getting something, and instantly it's, hi, do you do window tint? And I'm like, well, Tint Wiz is a software and so on. He's like, well, I need my car tinted. I'm like, you didn't hear anything I just said. But it doesn't matter. The point is, wearing something like that can go such a long way, because literally everywhere you go, you are potentially going to grab a person here, a person there.
That's right. Yeah. That makes a huge difference. You know what I mean? Like if you got your uniforms, or whether you got shirt, and you just want to make sure that people know what you do. When they see your shirt, your uniform, whatever it is, they don't have to question you. What is it that you do? Because I had one guy, all he had was just a sign. It was a guy that I helped, he wanted me to help him with some little marketing stuff. And all he had was it was just, man, like just a sign. Like, he didn't have no words, no nothing. They never knew what he do. And I helped him rebrand himself. And now if he go to lunch or wherever he go at, somebody's asking him, hey, I need my car tinted. Oh, do you do homes? Do you do businesses? Right. Like, you have to have something to strike up that conversation, because while you're in the grocery store, somebody's reading your shirt.
Right.
And the cashier, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna look, oh, tint. Oh, my mama need one of those tinted. And it strikes the conversation. And that's what I call it. It helps you sell yourself. Then you trying to tell somebody something, you in plain clothes, or you're not even looking like what you're selling. So
you can be helps. In sales mode all the time. If you want to be in growth mode, then like the same way, obviously, like wrapping a vehicle is important, you can wrap your body as well, right? Anywhere you go.
That's right. Yeah, I agree.
Liz had said she had to, I'll put it up on screen. She said, exactly, I had to stop wearing the bold shirt and hoodie Carrie designed for us. I was getting approached too much. I could imagine that,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, man. It's like a walking billboard. You become that, you know what I mean? So if you ever want to get some customers, you just put that on. Liz know what to do. She can put that on and go to the grocery store, go to the store. Somebody is going to approach about tint. Somebody's going to mention something about tint, because it's just too many cars out there with no film on them in the homes. Yep. And once you get into the beneficial side of this, the industry that we in,
yep.
People are going to jump on it.
Yep. And it's a numbers game to a point, because if if you meet 10 people a week, or you meet 100 people a week, you're increasing your chances for those referrals. Like you mentioned, the lady who refers you to 20 other. And if you end up meeting, 1,000 people, you have chances to meet somebody who owns national car dealerships. And, there's all sorts of different like referrals. So the point is, the more people, because you really only need one person could change your business. A handful of people could change your business. So like the more people just is increasing your chance. I'm wondering, you mentioned you weren't in the tint group till fairly recently. You discovered them. What was your first post like? Do you remember like the exact video or picture or post that you were kind of like, here I go?
I think the first post I did, it was in another group. I can't recall the group. I know one group I left a long time ago, Not well, but anyway, I posted something and I got attacked. Like, it was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it was some crazy people in there. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? But then I started realizing,
So wait,
like,
what happened? What do you mean you got attacked? You post a video, and
I
then it
post
was
now
just like,
it was a picture. You know what I mean? It was a picture of me.
okay,
I took a picture. I had on my Film Pros hat, and I had a spray bottle in my hand. And then I had people attack me, talking about, you need to get you a spray tank. You need to get you a spray kit. You got that spray bottle in your hand. What you do? And when I say it was so funny, and when I thought about it, but see, this is the thing, what I love, honestly, man. Like, I've seen, and I don't know how many other people have seen it. I've seen the industry and everybody who's a part of everything was going on social media right now that's in the winter tint industry. I've seen people advance within the last few months. Like, people have stepped their game up. Everybody have stepped their game up. Like, I'm talking about everybody. I've seen everybody grow. And I just, man, I love it. You know what I mean? I love it. Like, I look at everything and see, and if somebody say something, and that made me, it made me step my game up. I say, I need to go ahead and invest in a tank. I should have been had one. You know what I mean? Like, I should have been had one when I wasn't really, I did the tint, but I didn't really take it as serious as I really should have, you know what I'm saying? But you live and learn. And now it's like, okay, I'm gonna take it to another level. So now I just been putting things in kind of in order for me to just, I got everything pretty much what I need, because like I said, I didn't even like plotters, Eric. I never did like plotters. And I went on and got me a plotter because I say, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get me one, but I always hand cut. Like, I really love the hand cut. And I decided to go ahead and get a plotter, which it was great. It's good to have and stuff like that. But yeah, man, the craft, you just have to keep going, learning and being around those who are gonna push you and elevate you. You know what I mean? A person may come off a wrong way, but if I know I take that, anything they say negative, anything that's negative, I take it and I pull whatever positive I can pull out of that. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I do need to get me a spray tank. And then I got me one.
okay. So that was your first picture. Do you remember your first video that
the first video
I'm talking about? When was the first time you put a wig on or had something like shiny?
Yeah, that I got a good response when I did that. When I posted that, when I posted my first one with me in the boots, Shady, I sent it to Shady J. Shady J had, when I shared it in the group, and Shady J, he was cracking up laughing about it. And I think that was the first one that I posted. It was me dancing with the boots on and the wig on. And then once I kind of got the feel of, okay, everybody they cool with it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like an issue. You know what I mean? 'Cause I didn't know what to post in the groups. So, you know what I mean? You have certain rules in different groups. And I was like, well, I don't want to, be posting something that they don't want posted in the group.
Right. So one of the things that I've heard many times is, we were just talking about it, was people who say things like, how does he have, like, kind of like, how do you have time to do what you're doing? So we're not talking about, obviously, like going out, shaking hands, networking. We're talking about videos that people assume are strictly for the window film community, right? Posted in the group, so they're for tinters. And part of that questioning of like, how do you do anything else? Like, how doesn't this take up a lot of time, is a compliment, because it's saying this is obviously a well put together thing you're doing. How do you possibly find the time? You know what I mean? It's not it doesn't come off as some impromptu thing. It comes across as a very thought out, planned, thing. So can you kind of give them some insight as to how you get those videos done, and kind of your thought process behind the value of putting those sorts of videos out to the tint community?
I kind of if I have any spare time, especially like when I'm at the shop, you know, if I got a little break, but it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes or whatever, if I got a little gap, then I'll try to squeeze some content in, you know, because
Did you say
I
gap?
always be
I'm just kidding.
yeah. Yeah, oh
I'm just-
yeah. That's a bad word. But yeah, if I got me a little time in there to squeeze some content in,
Mhm.
then I do it, because you know what I mean. If I'm not doing anything, you know what I'm saying, I got some time, then I might as well use that time for good use. So that's what I try to do. I try to use whatever time I got that I can use to try to create that content. And then a lot of times I have to wait till my ideas finish processing. Like I would have an idea, but it's still processing. Like, okay, you're gonna need this, this, and that. So while I'm
Mhm.
working on the vehicle, I'm thinking this is what I'm gonna need. And then when I have that little break,
Mhm.
I may run a few places, grab a few things, whatever if I need, put it together, and then okay. So now I got it prepared. So now my next step is I'm gonna film what I need to film. And now I've just been doing it really the quick way, man. I haven't even been pulling out like I used to do like video production. I still do it, but not as much. I don't have really too much time to really sit down and do all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I do it kind of quick now because I be moving and doing a lot. So I try to do what I can when I can, and I try to balance everything out, man. But I still be working if nobody see me on social media, I'm working. You know, so within that period of time, I'm working my butt off so I can have that time to spare, because I know I got to create some content. You
And
know,
the
so
more you create, the
that's pretty.
easier it gets to create. Isn't that true?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the first one's the hardest.
yeah, it is. You know what I mean? You just have to keep running off of. Like me, I like to, the more things that I have to utilize to create the content, I can create the content. You know what I mean? Like these ideas are popping in my head about this and that. You know what I mean? And then it just be like, okay. And now I base everything, and the reason why I'm doing it for the film industry is it also it helps us. You know what I mean? Creating that humor, that entertainment.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, the industry it get rough sometimes. You know what I mean? A lot of people really don't talk about it, but you know, behind closed doors it get exhausting. You know, you're dealing with people all the time, you're trying to
Mhm.
make people happy, you got people picking at you about little old things. Like, it's so much that goes on within that day, but then you
Mhm.
click on and you see Chef Tint Right, you know
Mhm.
what I mean, Chef Tint Right doing something crazy, and you know, you like, oh man, you know, that made me laugh, or that, you know, that kind of brighten up my day. So I try to do it, man, and try to contribute as much positivity as I can to, you know, to the film industry, and uplift each other. And just like I said, I love all the tenders, man. I love the community. It's just some great people in the community, and I just want to contribute what I can contribute. If I can bring that humor and laughter, and whatever I can do for us all to individually grow and help, whatever, you know, I'm down, man. You know, I'm game. I'm ready.
And you have like you said, any way you can help, your game. You're more than you're more than just you have more than just a tint company. You also have a marketing company and so on. And I feel like that there's some crossover there as far as like, you know, you you've done this before. You have Chick-fil-A tattooed on your hand. So I mean, there's clearly something going on here as far as like the marketing background and the marketing current that exists in your business world, right? Or in your life, your personal and business, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
If you
Marketing is something I always kind of love doing, because when I went to school for it, when I lived up in Atlanta, this is a while back, and like marketing, it's just something that I've always did, but
Mhm.
I always tell people I market in a different way. You know, I don't do the standard way how some people may market. You know, because that way it's not getting nobody attention. You know, it's not, you know what I mean, making somebody look twice and be like, what is that? You know,
Right.
and you know, right then, you know, you create that imprint in their mind, you know, whether they see it again or they seen it somewhere. And I just pretty much try to focus on that. And like I say, for as the marketing, I've did a lot of things like what I would say it's like non-disclosure agreements, like where people just buy straight out. They just buy straight out the idea, things like that. I do a lot of jingles for like car dealerships, and things like that. You know, for they want to create jingles, and like they playing, they play them on the radio all the time, and I just try to do things like that. You know, when it come to me, and I'll put it together. I record everything, go in the studio, do all this stuff myself, and it turns out pretty good, man. I love it.
Do you make it first and then present it and try to sell it? Like, is that the concept? Like, you come up with it and then you're like, hey, do you want to license this or buy this from me?
Yeah. Because when I come up with it, like I give you an example, like for a dealership, I came up with a jingle and I let them hear it. And when I let everybody in the office hear it, it was stuck in their head automatically. Like that, they were saying it for the entire week.
Awesome.
And that was it. I just let them hear it. I ain't say nothing. And then they called me back like a week later and they was like, we want to buy that jingle. We want to buy it. And they bought it from me.
How did you put your foot in the door in that scenario? Like, did you just walk in? Did you call? Did you know somebody? How did you get that meeting set up?
Yeah, I actually knew the owner of the dealership. They brought some vehicles for me to tint them. And at the time, they didn't know, that I do that. But I was telling them like, hey man, if y'all, need some, some marketing done and stuff like that. But then they happened to stumble across one of my other videos where I played the character with the wig. And they was, that was hilarious to them. And they was like, man, you the same guy with the wig and then, and stuff be dancing. I was like, yeah, that's me. And I thought about it. I said, well, I'm gonna make up a jingle. You know what I mean? Because I've never heard them, play anything about, a jingle or on the radio. And I came up with the jingle and I presented it to them, and and they liked it, and it was, to this day, man, it brought them a lot of business in. I know that.
I bet. That's freaking incredible. So the question, I guess, would be, and maybe you don't have an answer for this right now, but how another common thing you hear from the community is, who can I use for marketing? And here you are. I don't know. I mean, like Liz said, we need a Tint Wiz jingle. I agree, Liz, but like, that's where my mind goes. It's like, damn, you're so talented. If somebody says, are your services available to the tint community if somebody wants to go kind of down a road, or not yet, or not so much?
Yeah, most definitely. The services are available. I just try to get people aware of it, and let them know that I do it, because besides me, I'm a tinter, and my thing is about the tint. I can relate to it, and it's things that I see and I know that I can help out on. So with me adding what I can add to it is kind of like just add some extra spice and just some a few more ingredients that to kind of help boost up some things. So if anybody want to reach out to me about that, like I say, the services are available for the tint community. I would love to help others come up with different marketing strategies and things like that to help just even content wise, for them to create more content and stuff like that. But as long as you creating a catalog, man, and you moving forward, if it's getting you one customer, two customers, like you still gaining a customer, and that's a good thing about it.
That's I was just reading through the comments. Haley said, do you have social media, etc., for your marketing services? Do you have any is there a website? Is there social media?
No, our website, we're working on the website. The website is being worked on. The page, the social media page, we're now starting to use that because I was just totally behind the scenes. On a lot of stuff that I did. I just stayed behind the scenes and I didn't post it because I did more of it on either my character side or that side. And I wanted people to first kind of understand how I market.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of
Yeah.
people like they look at it and they be like, "What is this?" You know what I mean? Like they don't understand it. And
Yeah.
I try to let them know, like, I don't market how regular people market. Like, I'm off the wall. Like, I do things that, just gonna catch your attention and make you say, "What is that?" You know what I mean? Like,
You're taking
yeah,
like very pointed, narrow shots. It seems like, it's not just marketing. It's, I see this specific thing and you go after it
yeah.
um, Sheriff Tint Tint Wiz County. I mean, it puts a smile on my face every time I see it, obviously. And I think a lot of people would say that. I mentioned to you as well that like people have randomly brought you up that, just they don't even, they weren't like Montana Johnson. It's just like, man, did you see that? Like, I've been following this sheriff on TikTok and like, you know, um, and seeing your videos on Facebook. What is the concept behind Sheriff Tintright?
Sheriff Tint, he is a tenor who loved the community. He want to see the community do well. He want to see people within the community do well. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Keeping people on their toes, on their game, and stuff like that. Because if you have a tenor that's been 10 for 15, 20 years, there's no reason he should be leaving a big gap on a glass. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But it's all to help the industry. Just like with the Tint Wiz 3000 water filter. You know what I mean? You want to use the best water, stuff like that. Like it's the little things that, like keeping the community clean. So Sheriff Tint, right? That's just what it's about, uplifting people and just keeping the tent community on their toes.
Everybody loves the sheriff, as the comments have been saying, and but what you're doing, what you've done, that I think is beyond. Like, one of the things that really is a standout to me is like, you didn't come out here and say like, hey, I could be a character. Hey, I have this idea, etc. You came out guns blazing. You do it, and then you do it, and you do it, and you execute on it. And what I'm saying is like, doing it ahead. Like you said, I came up with a jingle. I presented the jingle to him. You put in all the work up front. You didn't go to them and say, hey, if I come up with a jingle, do you know what I mean? And like doing the work up front, I think is extremely important in like growth and trying to like anything you want to do. Like, you put the work up front. You don't try to get other people like sold on the idea or anything. Like, do it all and then see how it goes. Whereas oftentimes the idea is so exciting that we want to kind of share it and tell people and get people convinced, but it's missing the ingredient, which is the execution, which you are nailing.
It exactly. And that's why you see Nike with that little slogan, just do it. That just do it is just so powerful. And you just have to just do it. You know what I mean? Because if you wait, just say, if I have an idea, and then if I talk to too many people and I talk to the wrong people, then they may kill that idea. They may say, no, that's not good. Nobody's going to like that. And then you just don't do it. But if you just do it, do it. You just have to do it. And that's how it was with Sheriff Tint, right? It just came so natural. And then it was like Tint Wiz County, Georgia. And it just sounded like a county in Georgia. That's why I went with Tint Wiz County, Georgia. Because it sounded like, you got a sheriff from, Georgia. They always kind of say we kind of country in Georgia. And so I was like, Sheriff Tint, right? He in Tint Wiz County, Georgia. And it's like, man, it was just crazy. But I like to just go ahead and do it because so many people would talk, and say this and say that. Just imagine if, you tell people and you never do what you say you're gonna do. And stuff like that. And I'm from where I'm from, Eric. You have a lot of people, they do stuff like that. They'll say something, and they used to get mad at me because when I say something, I actually do it. But I stopped saying things and I just started doing it because there was no need. Because when I would mention something about it, people would put my idea down. They would tell me that's not going to work. I had many situations where I almost like to not did what I was thinking because I mentioned it to the wrong person. You have to be careful who you're talking to when you're discussing these things. You know what I mean? Because everybody can't see that vision, and you trying to
Right.
get them to see it, and
Right.
and it may not be a bad person, or they may not be, trying to, get you to
Hmm.
not do it, but they don't understand it. They don't see it. So that's why you have to paint that picture and show them. And
Right.
once you paint the picture, now they be like, oh, I see it. I get it.
Right.
So, that's just all it is. Some people you just have to show them. Some people you have to let them see the idea
Right.
versus you trying to explain it to them. You be like, hold on, let me show you. And then that's when they get an understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, you have an idea in your head, but explaining it to somebody in a few sentences, that idea isn't realistically transferred into their head. Like just a couple words of it. So like you said, even if their intentions are the best, they're not necessarily seeing your vision. And then also a lot of times people are wired, I think myself included, I just think it's natural when somebody tells you something, your head can sometimes go to what could go wrong. And instead of going, well, what if it goes right? And like, what if it goes right is important too with what if it, because nothing's guaranteed, right? You can do something to the best of your ability and the best and it still might not work out. So, you got to take your shots and not predict and just take your shots. Cause I don't think we're right often, like we're not right about where, like we can't necessarily see the path as far as we think we can and predict so
Yeah.
well. I think we suck at that, frankly. Realistically,
Yeah.
it feels like we know what's happening, but we don't know when things are coming.
Yeah, I know that the risk, people, you can't be afraid to take those type of risks. You know what I mean? Like it's risky every day doing something. It's risky, and things could go wrong with even the slightest thing that with nothing goes wrong with it. But you just have to just sit back and be like, this is something I can do. I know I can do it. And have confidence in yourself and just do it. Don't let the fear hold you back from doing something that may better your company or better you, yourself, and those around you. And that's just how I look at it. You know what I mean? I'm not doing anything, negative. So if it's positive, I'm not worried about anything. You know what I mean? I
What could
do
go
it.
wrong? When it's
Yeah,
positive, what can go wrong? No one's
yeah.
angry banging
So
down your door. What's the worst that can happen?
that's right. So
Do you feel
yeah.
as oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. You ask
Okay.
you some more.
Do you feel as well, first of all, how old are you, if you don't mind sharing?
43.
43. So do you in any way feel like as you're getting older that you find you're more willing to go for things than when you were younger, or do you find it the opposite or nothing? I don't know. Is it something you identify as something that's changing?
Well, it's I'm getting more. It's getting more serious now. Like I did it. You know what I mean? Like I was doing things, but now I just shifted a different way. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I just kind of switched up some things. Um, Instead of doing it, a way that I probably would have did it when I was younger. I wasn't really focused on when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't really. My focus wasn't even there. You know what I mean? Like it was so many distractions. I wasn't thinking about anything like what I'm thinking about now. It's like now these my ideas and my brain is working. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a sponge. I sit and listen. I'm soaking in. I'm studying things
Hmm.
and looking at you know different
Yep.
ways how this can be done. And it's like, so now it's more like I'm in that stage of learning even more than
Hmm.
I've learned, what I'm saying, in my entire
Hmm.
life. Like it's like now, like I want to soak everything in. I want to try to go as hard and work as hard as I can, uh, and just to improve myself. You know what I mean? Because that's who I battle with myself, is improving myself. Like every day I'm working on how could I improve myself. What could I do better, that's going to allow me to do something better, or what could I do that's going to help somebody else. You know what I mean? Like that's my main focus is if I'm around I'm gonna try to contribute something that's gonna be good for anybody who I'm dealing with, I'm around with. I just that just always been me. Um, I'm just that type of person. So, I love it. I love what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to continue growing, man. Just try to expand this as much as I can.
I think that growth mindset is a very healthy mindset, because when you get good at and comfortable trying to absorb, like you said, being a sponge, and then executing on it, you're always staying fresh, you're always moving forward. And I just think it's super important. So I'm glad you're sharing that. Marco said, keep doing you, don't listen to the crowd. But Marco is kind of on the one of like the most wanted list right now. I don't know if it was over a gap violation or what it was over, but
No, Marco, he was wanted for CF Tent Ride was looking for Marco because he was just trying to understand him, because he a dangerous panel puller. Like he pop panels and pull them,
Rolls
but he
Royces,
just
anything
he
doesn't
he,
matter.
he he's a monster. So Chef Tent Ride, he just wanted to question him and talk to him, but like I say, the film trainer, he ain't no telling what city and state he may be in.
No, that's for sure. He will be in Orlando, as you will be in March, for Tinner Battles. I mean,
Yeah.
it's getting close. What are your, I know there's some content you and your partner training and doing some work together. What's the update? How do you feel as a team together, and so on?
Yeah, I feel, I'm pretty confident. Like I say, especially in my partner. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been letting her kind of just, take it easy and not put too much pressure on her. To have her, get her nervous because sometimes you can put too much pressure on a person and you'll make them mess up, and stuff like that. So I just been trying to let her do her thing, and she know like, we got a battle coming up, and we gonna battle. She's the type, she sit back and quiet, but she's ready to fight and battle at any
Mhm.
time. And that's what I like about her. She got a big heart, and she do her thing. So I'm excited as well to be down there, with some of the best tenors, man, in the industry. That's gonna be history, itself. Just everybody together as one. You got some great tenors, man. I've never in my life been around that many great tenors. You know what I mean? Like I told you, I was on the earth by myself. You know what I mean? And because
Mhm.
in my area, some of the tent shops network with each other, but just a couple. Everybody else is straight. It's battle mode. You know what I mean? Like it ain't no more cars in the city. So I'm just happy to be networking, man, with other tenants who are not looking at it like somebody trying to take their business away from them.
How do you, just being that you're kind of, or you are in battle mode, like the people around you are in battle mode. How's like the pricing situation in your area? Is it, because I'd imagine you're not the cheapest. If people are so cutthroat, there's probably some low price options out there. How does that affect you? It doesn't affect you at all?
No, because it was, to be honest with you, it was a guy that was on some cutthroat stuff and with very cheap prices, but we ran him out of town, because he was 10 cars, man, for $80-$90. Yeah, he tried to battle against me, man. Like it was
What do you mean you
crazy.
ran
Like
him out
me
of
and this
town?
guy, yeah, yeah. Honestly, he ran him out of town because I had my shop was like right almost by his shop, and he used to get mad and say I was stealing his customers and all this crazy stuff. And this joker, he was 10 cars for $100. He dropped down to 80. And then he tried to drop down to 60.
Why not? For a whole
I
car?
say, I say, man, this dude is crazy. You know what I mean? And he
How's
all
that
he did was
possible?
he just kind of took himself out. You know what I mean? Because if you got 30 cars, think how many people gonna come. You know what I'm saying? You $60 to get a whole car tinted. And he was burning himself out because he was much older than me, but
Hmm.
he couldn't take it no more. So he went on and he left town and moved. Uh, but he was messing up the market, because he was messing up the market bad, and I just couldn't. I wasn't gonna drop my prices because I just why, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy. I'm giving you a great tip. I'm giving you great service. You know, I'm standing behind my work. Like, I'm not finna these cheap prices. Like, you don't want that, you know, and
Right.
then you come to me complaining when it's bubbled up and
Right.
it's peeling. And I told you, you went and got an $80 tint job. Now I'm charging them extra just because they went and paid, you know what I mean? That now I got to take that off. So now you got to pay even more money when you should have came to me the first time. You know, so yeah, but the market is pretty fair now. We don't have nobody around here doing anything with no crazy prices. Anyway, if they was, Chef Tint Right might get them. But
somebody wasn't expecting that, like, and you roll up to them, you know what I mean? To their shop and start checking their gaps and talking about their pricing, I think it would definitely.
I know. They'll be like, man, you know. But like I say, you probably still got somebody in the hood trying to do something, but they, you know, they still putting 10 on the outside. They ain't really, you know, ain't worried about those. But for the other shops, the price is about line up just about right.
Make sure you turn on the body camera anytime there's activity with Sheriff Tint Right.
Definitely I got to, because they probably they'll be so scared. But this is the thing. I told myself, if it's a young guy, whoever out there that's doing it, and if they want to really learn how to do it professionally, I'm gonna show you how you want to close that gap. I'm gonna show you how you can close this gap. You know, I'm gonna give them the game, and that's only because if you want to be a tinter that bad and you want to do it, you really want like this profession, well, you do it right. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna help them out. You know, and I might even give him a tint with his cap. You know, hey, look, you know, and show them love. But that's the thing. It's all about the industry, man. Just like just making it better. You know what I mean? Making it better. That's what I like about Tint Wiz. That's what I like about everybody that's seeing it. Everybody's just contributing so much, man. I'm speechless. You know what I mean? I love everything what's going on in the industry right now.
Yeah. Well, we're only 5 weeks away from Tinter Battles, so that is definitely right around the corner and going to be something. Have you strategized as to which windows you'll be doing and which ones Champagne will be doing?
Melanie, we probably gonna like I told her to I'm probably gonna, you know, I'll probably be doing the driver's side, she be doing the passenger side. Okay. The back glass, we probably knock that out together. Okay. Just get it in there quicker and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna pretty much focus. She gonna focus on her side. I'm gonna focus on my side. And like I said, I'm already, while she prepping, I already be, you know, shrunk the back glass, did that. But we gonna, you know, we got a little system that we put together, and we just gonna, you know, we're gonna apply it. You know what I mean? We came up with some few different other backup plans in case some, you know, didn't go as planned. We'll be prepared for it. But you know, we there, man, you know, to have a good time and enjoy ourselves, man, and meet and greet and just, you know, have fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to it. And then a couple weeks later, for anybody who doesn't know, there's a in Cody Becker shop, Shore Tint and More in Delaware. I know, you know, there's like an autism, it's a tint drive for autism, like a tint drive-through scenario to raise money. So I don't know for sure if you confirmed if you're going or not, but anybody who wants to attend, I believe, can. It should be, I believe they're putting on an amazing event. I saw on Facebook an event that Cody and the Beckers put on about a year ago. I think it might have been for their grand opening. And honestly, it looked like kind of like a mixture of like a car show and like it was just like there was booths and vendors and food trucks. And I think there was like a bouncy house. Like they do it big. So I can't wait. And it's right after Tinter Battles, a couple weeks after. It couldn't be for a better cause. So for anybody listening that wants to get involved in that, there's a Facebook page. I'll pull up real quick. But do you know if you're confirmed yet to come or not? I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
I did speak with Cody, and I told him I'm definitely gonna try to make it. Okay,
It's
for the autism.
there it is. Tintathon for autism. For anybody who
Okay.
so anybody wants to pull up the page,
Man.
Tintathon for autism, and it's on April 1st and April 2nd.
Wow.
So,
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to make it because I told him, and I like supporting things like that too. All the causes, and what's going on in the industry right now. Like, you got the tennis for cause, and you got that with Cody them throwing. So I'm definitely gonna try to show my support and definitely share Tint right. Let me see. I think that was who that was I talked to. But yeah, they were saying they know a lot of officers up there, so I think they're gonna have them at the event too. They coming through to support, so it's gonna be a good event, man, that they have up there in Delaware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything we missed? Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't touch on?
Some not really, not really. I was trying to think, was there anything else? But
The Tint Wiz 3000, right? That's coming up.
that's right.
For people, I know I was receiving a good amount of DMs, people asking how can they buy them. There's going to be a giveaway coming up, and it's going to be on the Sheriff Tint Right page, if I'm right, or no?
Yeah, that's right.
So anybody interested in being part of that giveaway, make sure you go on Facebook and follow the Sheriff Tint Right page, and potentially even share it while you're there. It's not a bad idea, right?
That's right. And that way we'll keep you updated on about the giveaways, and like I said, it's a lot to come. Yeah, so they'll definitely be happy that they did get involved and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely the Tint Wiz 3000. It's gonna be a collector's item. That's all I can say. Maybe something that you may want to hold on to, and because go down in the Tint Hall of Fame. I was thinking about Eric. I think what y'all gonna do when y'all open up a Tint Hall of Fame? When y'all gonna put together?
So, I mean, Carlos had brought up the idea probably a year, like last year, maybe before Tinter Battles, he had brought up that idea. And I feel like I haven't heard him mention it since, but I feel like it's kind of something that like he really like wants to make happen eventually. So I know he collected some items from the last Tinter Battles that he wanted to have in there. And then it would be awesome if the tint community comes together. I know some people like are holding boxes from like tint boxes from 30 years ago, and like, tools before there were tools and so on. So I'm sure once there's a setup, there will be kind of this contribution to it. I guess the real question, or not the real question, but one of the major questions is like where would that live? You know what I mean? Would it be something that is like kind of, because like one way would be to almost like photograph it all and then have that like something that's, put into like a website so you could like go through it and kind of understand what's in the museum, but then it actually live in storage but come out for events. So like it could maybe have certain items at the Tinter Battles, but where's it going to like live full time? I can't imagine there's going to be an actual museum like where it's like physically displayed. I don't know if it's quite there yet, but that sounds like it would be kind of the workings of it once it happens. I don't know.
I know. I definitely was thinking about that. I say Tint Wiz County will have to have a museum. I have to work on the museum,
So Carlos actually just broke some news about a new location that he secured. So we may be seeing a museum very, very soon. That's what he said.
Wonderful. Oh yeah. That'd be great.
Yep.
A lot of exciting things, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. So cool. We got about the Tint Wiz 3000. Oh. That's gonna be that.
David Rosenberg, Shaver Dave, asked if you will be on duty at the event. So will Sheriff Tint Right be on duty at the event, or will just the Tint Craftsman be there competing?
Sheriff Tint Right will be, He will be there. He will be there. Chef Tint Right will be there. I don't know what's his shift. I don't know the hours yet, but yeah, he will be on duty. Just checking out some things. He said he want to show up and shake some hands and politic. So yeah, he will be there, Dave.
Yeah, it's a shame you can't be a judge and a competitor at the same time.
I know. That's what I said. That's why I say, because I was telling Carlos, I was like, man, with the Chef Tint Right, and another reason why I went on and brought out Chef Tint Right is because next tenor battles, Chef Tint Right will be, like he will be walking around checking things out, stuff like that. But yeah, definitely that would have been exciting too, the be. But I think it's gonna be some more contests that's gonna be going on at tenor battles. So
yeah,
Chef Tint Right, we'll be keeping an eye on, those, contestants, whoever competing in those, if I'm not competing in them, definitely he'll be checking them out. But yeah.
For anybody who isn't competing, which would be 99% of the people attending, you should know that there, like you said, Montana, like everybody should know there are other segments. There's the hands-on, like educational type segments, and then there's other competition segments. So like you may not be competing in the tinner battles, but these other segments are like from the bits that Carlos had shared, like they're exciting. Like it's not some like B-level contest. It's going to be like some, better show up to level contest. Anybody attending, like, be ready. If you want to compete, if you want to get involved, there's a lot of different ways, it sounds like, to do that.
Yeah, it definitely will be. So that's why I say, hey, it's going to be competitions. It may be some spur of the moment competitions that may pop off. I don't know what, what's up. I don't know what Carlos have a lot of things up his sleeve. I don't know what, Texas Squeegee, I don't know what may be pulled off, but it may be other different things going on, but it's going to be exciting. So I'm looking forward to it.
Montana, thank you for all you do. Thanks for coming on here and sharing a little bit of what makes you tick and what you're about. And, absolutely can't wait to see you in person. I feel like we know each other already, but can't wait to give you a hug and meet you in person.
Oh yeah. Vice versa, man. I'm definitely ready to meet and greet everybody, man. And like I say, just have some fun and laugh as much as we can. And just have a good time. So yeah, I know I'm ready. I'm ready for March, man. It's coming quick too, because February is moving. And
yeah, it's already the middle of February, and February is the shortest month of the year. So like it's halfway over almost.
I know. And I've been trying to think, man, what do I need to come down to Orlando a little earlier? But I was gonna get down there, like I think it was on a Friday.
So the event's on a Saturday and Sunday, I believe the 19th and 20th. So it should be a Friday the 18th, Thursday the 17th, somewhere around there. I mean, you definitely want to get there, not Saturday. But when were you thinking? Friday, the day before, basically?
Yeah, Friday, probably get there kind of the day before. I thought about that. Probably leave out
fresh and ready. Hit it hard in the morning. For anybody who hasn't got your hotel yet, I highly recommend getting a hotel close to the event. Go to tintertainment.com if you need the address. There's some hotels right around there. And I'm just saying, like, this is my personal recommendation. Stay close to the event, because I do believe that, from breakfast in the morning that's provided at the event all the way to dinner and who knows what else at the end of that day, it's going to be a long day. Saturday will be a long day if you want to be there the whole day and enjoy yourself. And then Sunday, you have the main event. You're going to want to get there in the morning, and driving at night, and then driving in the morning, and then driving there Saturday morning when there's traffic. It's just like, why deal with any of that shit when you could just be down the street? Just my recommendation. Make sure people book your hotels if you haven't booked them yet, because like things book up, there's only so much room. And like, I think Carlos has over 450 registered tickets already, plus people that are just going to show up. So you figure like 500 people, that's a lot of rooms, right? Like around there. So book your room. Unless you want to be sleeping in somebody's bathtub or something. You know what I mean?
I know, right? Yeah, they definitely want to go ahead and book, man, because like I said, I think it's gonna be a pretty exciting in a weekend.
So Carlos also just mentioned Friday, the competitors will have a meet and greet day. We will be going over show schedule, entrances, etc., and set up for the competition. So
okay, what do we have a time on that Friday?
It's a good question.
Yeah, what time? Because I might have to leave out earlier than I thought.
Well, we'll see if Carlos said there's also projected about 500 attendance. And then Vinny asked if he can just show up. Vinny, the answer is absolutely yes. I don't believe anybody in this world would turn you away. So absolutely, Vinny, just show up. So yeah, Carlos, 7 p.m. evening. So it's kind of like I imagine like last time. It was in the evening. Everybody came by, and it was like a late evening thing. And
cool.
Marco said, "Let's battle before the competition. I will train everyone before." I don't know if that's sincere or he's trying to kind of put some bad habits on you.
The film trainer. No film trainer. He already pushed me to battle him when I was up in Atlanta. He's talking, come on, let's battle. Like he was ready to battle. He be ready. He be amped up. You know, Marco be running 100 miles. You know, he be ready. He be ready to battle.
I saw that video where he was running away from you.
Yeah, man. I did not know he was that fast.
Right.
Yeah, he is fast. I'm talking about, man, when he dropped the torch, like he did some type of relay sprint, man. Like I was like, this guy was gone. Like,
yeah.
So he's in pretty good shape. That workout you've been doing, Marco, is really showing. It's really everything is in. Yeah, keep up the good work. You definitely want to do that.
He's been doing 75 hard, which will put him probably right in March. He was saying when it's over, and I believe he's doing 75 hard. I believe he's doing 75 miles a day running, and then I think the last day it's going to be an ultra marathon all the way from Texas to Orlando. He's just going to run to the event, get there Friday, and then compete. So,
oh man,
you know,
he's a bad man. Yeah.
Let me just throw something out there too. I don't know anything, but I do want to just throw something out there. Imagine a situation, because, you know, there's kind of been this, something we didn't touch on, and I don't want to keep you too long, but something you didn't touch on.
No, you good.
Is like, your fitness. You're in the gym, you care about your fitness. And then, we see like Marco, 75 miles a day. And obviously that man is, made of steel and cares about his fitness and so on. And anyway, the point being, two things. I wanted to hear how you value your fitness routine and like what that kind of like, where does that fit in your day? Because I think staying in shape is just like the ultimate ingredient to longevity and being able to be active and so on. And then I also wanted to throw the thought out there of, what if like before the competition starts, it's like, because you never know with Carlos, what if it's like, all right, like you got to run like fucking 5 laps around the property and do 20 push-ups before you start your vehicle, but the timer starts now. I'm just saying, like, what if there's another aspect introduced in there? I just wonder who's thinking outside the box as far as the training goes, because that's like, it's not that crazy. If he was like, all right, you're going to start here, you got to do this, and then begin your vehicle. So maybe you're winded, you're out of breath, you were kind of caught off guard. Like, it's tinner battles, man. It's not, it's not the SATs. So anyway, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, you definitely want to, try to stay in shape, like exercising and taking care of yourself. You want to try to do that. It's going to help you out. You know what I mean? You're going to thank yourself in the long run. Especially like say with us getting in and out these cars and doing all these type of things, like over a period of time, like it your body gets older. but you want to try to just stay in shape, do what you can, you know, exercise. And I just try to push myself, man. Even when I don't feel like going to the gym, I go to the gym. I try to get my workout on, whether I'm at home or wherever I'm at. Like, I try to get my workout on because I know that my body needs it. And like you say, you have to be prepared. Just say, like you say, for instance, at tennis battle, we got to run or we got to do this. Who would be prepared for that? And not saying, you know what I mean? Like, you just have to be, you never know, you know, and it's just, you want to try to do the best to take care of your health as well. You know, it's not all about, it's money is cool, but money's no good if your health is bad. You know,
So true.
it's no good at all. You know, you're gonna give it all to the doctor trying to get him to fix you, and he just
Absolutely.
gonna take your money. So you have to take care of yourself and exercise. I tell people, man, do what you can. You don't have to go in there and try to look for no results overnight. Just begin to do something. Something is better than nothing. You know, you just have to do it because it's going to help you. And I'm telling you, you will really thank yourself in the future. Like, man, I'm glad, you know, that cut down distress, that cuts down this and that. You know what I mean? You want to, like, say, like Marco say always about your heart rate. You know what I mean? You want to be able to control your heart rate, you know what I'm saying, to be able to balance that out,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, you know what I mean, they can't control
Yeah.
their heart rate. And that causes them to, you know, you be all over the place because you
Yeah.
feeling crazy, you know, but you have to be able to control that and staying in shape, exercising, walking, whatever. As long as you're doing something to help yourself and better yourself, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. You're so right. I mean, there's the physical aspect of it and then the mental aspect that comes from the exercise. And, you know, you could start the day wound up, or you could start the day like after a little gym session or a walk or whatever, some push-ups, whatever it is, but that kind of feeling of calm. So when somebody does raise you up, you're starting from like a lower point as opposed to like you starting from a boiling point and it's you spill over like that. Very good point.
Yeah. Yeah, the health, man. That's what it is. Like I said, I tell people, get you a bike, you know, buy your bike, ride your bike, you know, go on a walk. You know what I mean? If you you don't have to park close to the store, park out there in the parking lot and take those extra steps. Steps
Yep.
count. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Stuff like that. Like it's just a lot of stuff that sometimes people overlook because they looking at how long this may take. You know, if you want to lose a few pounds, you want to get in shape, you know, they looking at how long. You can't always be looking at that. You got to just focus on the now and do what you can do now. And you take those itty bitty steps. Itty bitty steps create big, you know what I mean? Like, you just,
Right.
people don't pay attention to the small steps, but you have to crawl before you walk. And that's why I say do something to keep yourself healthy and in shape.
Right. Right. It's not how long until, it's for the rest of your life, however long that is. There's never going to be a point where you should like feel like, all right, I got there. I don't need to stay healthy. Like it's a lifelong journey, right?
That's right. That's one of your jobs. That's like a main job because you don't get another body, you can't go rent another one, you can't go buy another one. So you
Yeah.
have to take care of the one that you're in, and that's the best way you can do it. You know, especially if you want to try to tint. If you want to go past those days in tinting and you want to keep tinting, because if you get in some of them cars you can't get out,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you, it ain't no joke. I was like that one time before I got back in shape. And people used to laugh at me because I was like, man, boy, I'm out of shape. They were like, man, you skinny. How you out of shape? You still could be out of shape. It doesn't matter your size. See, people think like, no, it doesn't matter. You can be out of shape because you ain't using your muscles, you ain't exercising, you ain't doing your cardio. It's like, you know, you out of shape. You know, get in shape. You know, go do some jog. You know, when I'm dancing, that's a workout for me.
It's
You know,
true.
that's a little workout for me. It takes work dancing. After I finish dancing, man, I'm tired. You know, I try to do things like that, stay active, and kill two birds with one stone. So I'm exercising, making people laugh. You know, hey, that's how I do it.
Marco said, you know, we only have one body. We only get one body. And it just made me think of like my car. I would never in my wildest horrible nightmares would I put anything in the gas tank other than gasoline from a gas station that looks like a normal gas station. Like you wouldn't put some gasoline at a gas station that's been run down for 30 years in your car. No chance, right? Like you'd never pour like,
Right.
oh, like this shit looks cool. Let me just pour it in my gas tank. It'll be all right. But the shit we'll put in our bodies, and like we could buy a new car, right? It's no big deal. You can replace the motor. You can just buy another one, but you can never do that for your body. But I know myself included. It's like, it's a weird thing, but I'll take better care of my car than I will my body. But it can't be like that,
I know. For real, you have to treat your body like that, you know what I mean? And realize the importance of it, and don't wait till it's too late. A lot of times, a person can wait till it's too late, but you want to get on it now. You know what I mean? Just begin, get your little workout plan. It don't have to be nothing outrageous. Put something together. Eat healthier. You know what I mean? Try to, make sure you do the things that's going to, you're going to put good things in your body. And that's how you're going to be able, what I'm saying, get rid of that a lot of people like sluggish feeling and stuff that's built up in your body that's toxic. It's so much, man, that I can go on with that, like with detoxing and just cleaning your system out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will feel a lot of more energy if they just detox themselves. If you just eat right, drink, eat your fruit and eat healthier, you'll feel like you got a new body.
Mm-hmm.
But you got all this other stuff that's in there, and it's just not good for you. So it's going to make you feel like you tired when you really shouldn't be tired.
Right. Right. And that really does affect a lot. Like it can affect obviously like your mood, which can affect almost like your personality. So the way you feel can then lead to a way you act, and the way you act can then lead to a way that you kind of feel is the way you are, like it's you. And like, that's not necessarily the case, because I know like now I really value sleep. Like I'm pretty tired right now. I barely got sleep last night, but in general, I find it very important that I really need to make sure I go to sleep early, because I wake up early and I have to sleep, because I know if I don't get good sleep, it'll build up. Maybe not the first day, but I feel like shit. That means I think like shit. Then I start kind of acting a little like shit. And like, then before you know it, that's me, right? Like, cause that's how you act. And like, so anyway, point being, like, I know in my like 20s, I didn't really know that, because I was always tired. I was always like kind of doing that to myself. And I didn't realize how different you can feel when you eat well, when you sleep well, or not. And yeah, I just Heather is putting her ice cream back in the freezer now. She's but hey, nothing wrong with ice cream, right? Just go for a little walk after, like tomorrow, like do some pushes. Maybe you deserve the ice cream. It's not the end of the world,
Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you're gonna do little things and treat yourself, then you just got to make sure you put in the work to back up that. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to just do that. And when you do too much of it, that's when it becomes a problem, and you're not exercising, you're not taking care of yourself, and you just have a bigger issue. But yeah, like I say, man, more people focusing on their health, like that's the way to go. Because like I say, with you feeling more energetic, you're gonna want to do things. And then like I say, with you're not if you don't get enough rest, that means everything in your body is gonna be stressed out. You know what I mean? Like I say, your thoughts, you can't even think straight. That's why you see people who they just ain't thinking right. You make poor decisions because you running off of low energy. For one, you know what I mean? You're not thinking properly, you're not eating properly. You didn't even put back what you burnt out in your body. So now you just running off fumes, and your inside of your body is stressed out, and that puts a lot of wear and tear on the body. It's like a car, you running the car with no oil in it. And it just kind of just tear you down over a period of time. And next thing you know, man, your body just all of a sudden you just feel like, oh man, my body feel terrible.
Yeah. Or you don't even realize that like it's changed. You just think this is how you feel. Like you don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It
like it's normal. Yeah.
Little by little.
Some people begin to let it be normal. You know what I mean? Until it just until it just become worse than what it is. But that's not normal. You know what I mean? If you're out there and you're not doing any type of exercise, you need to start doing some exercise. You need to start doing something, and not just exercising, like you say, eating healthier, make sure that you sleep, get your sleep, all that type right there. Those are the ingredients. You know, if you want to be around and spend the money that you're making, you know, if you want to be around to continue to be successful or grow or get to reach your goals, you reach your goals and you can't even, you know, you land in a hospital bed somewhere and you know what you should have did, but you didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's like to get on it now. So that's why I like when Marco and even with Dave, when Dave was challenging everybody doing the 25 push-up challenge. Those challenges for people that do it, that's good. And people to get involved. If you can't do 25 push-ups, do 5 or 10. Right. You know, just still do something. You know, don't just not do nothing because like, no, I can't do that. You know,
Right.
You know, do something. So
Parting question. Do you have any like New Year's resolutions? I know we're already in February, obviously, still the beginning of the year. Is there anything that you kind of set your sights on specifically this year as like a New Year's resolution?
Me for us on New Year resolution, I kind of, it's like this right here with me, Eric. I just want to be in. I definitely want to be here, healthier. You know, healthier and in a better position than what I am now. You know what I mean? Like growth. I don't want to be in the same spot. You know, that's like my biggest fear of me being in the same spot and not moving forward. I just want to, you know what I'm saying, continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to, you know, network and meet people who inspire me and stuff like that. But I just want to, you know, I just want to be, you know, that level, man. I want to be going, I don't want to be going backwards. I want to be going forward. So my whole goal is to just keep going forward and just continue to climb and reach my goals. But yeah, I'm just trying to be the best version of myself I can be.
Well, thank you for doing that because it's contagious and it's a joy to be around. So thanks for everything you're doing, and I'll see you at Tinder Battles.
Sounds good. I appreciate you for having me on, Eric.
Thank you for also having the clearest camera, I think, ever in 143 episodes of Tint Wizdom. You, I think, have the best lighting and clearest camera to date. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate
props.
it. I had to start using this stuff, man. I got like all kind of little video equipment, man. Some of the stuff I rarely even use, but I had to start using it. So that's another reason why I started doing a lot of more content and different things. Like it's so much more to come. Like this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Just the beginning. Just the very beginning.
For real.
Cool.
So
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for watching and joining as always, and we'll see you on the next Tint Wizdom. All right. Bye everyone.
That's good.